Welcome to Take 5 with the Regional Chamber. I'm Kim Calvert. Thanks for joining us and Happy New Year. This holiday season, we all gave and received many wonderful gifts. But our first story of 2014 features a gift that's impossible to put a price on. It's the gift of hearing, and it's something local doctor of audiology Cheryl Figliano has been giving to people around the world and right here in our valley for the last 15 years.
So you're going to hold right where the wire meets.
Imagine going through life not being able to clearly hear the voices of your loved ones, or for that matter, any everyday sounds that many of us take for granted.
I didn't know a pen made a sound on paper, actually. I didn't know that when you take an envelope or a card out of paper, it made a sound.
After years of struggle, Adam Jackson can now hear, thanks to the second annual Help the Valley Hear Well Again mission at the Centers for Hearing Care in Boardman.
Everyone that was here today got the gift of hearing by getting 2 brand new American-made top-of-the-line hearing aids.
Through this mission, Dr. Cheryl Figliano gave away 15 pairs of hearing aids to people who couldn't afford to purchase the hearing aids themselves. It is life-changing for both the recipients and for Dr. Figliano and her staff.
I can actually have a conversation and not be confused with what they're trying to imply.
For most of our staff, it's our favorite day of the year because the patients that come in are truly in financial need, who have no other way of purchasing hearing aids, and this is one day of the year when it's like winning the lottery for them. It truly, truly is a great gift.
Dr. Figliano's desire to help doesn't end there. She's also been giving away hearing aids to people in need in countries around the world. Her first international mission was back in 1999, and she's been going every year since, giving away hundreds of new and reconditioned hearing aids on every mission.
I came back with such a wonderful feeling of, what I do really does make a difference in people's lives. These people are willing to walk for hours and spend whatever they have on a bus to be able to get somewhere where they can then walk to see us for hours, and come back a couple days later with the same trip to bring us a little bag of apples from their farm to say thank you. And I realized we need to do this. We need to give back.
Dr. Figliano now owns 7 centers for hearing care throughout Northeast Ohio, and they're always on the lookout for new locations so they can better serve the community. For Take 5 with the Regional Chamber, I'm Alyssa Toto.
Dr. Figliano is planning another international mission to Dominica, a small island off the north coast of the West Indies, in March or April of this year. We wish her the best of luck on her trip. Well, the temperatures might be a little warmer this week, at least compared to last week, but there's still plenty of ice at the Cavelli Center, and we're hoping you'll join the Regional Chamber staff and members there February 7th for an evening with the Phantoms. The owner of the hockey team, Bruce Olden, is offering 2 complimentary tickets to every Chamber member, plus additional tickets for just $2.50 each. Brian Bournes has more on the evening of great hockey, food, family, and friends.
Fast-paced, hard hits, and big shots. That's how Youngstown Phantom hockey players describe their style.
We hit, we shoot, we block shots, we have a few fights once in a while.
We're a high, fast-paced team and like to score goals, and we like to get the crowd into it.
They're hoping to get as many Chamber members as possible in the crowd on February 7th for the evening with the Phantoms night. Coach Anthony Noreen promises you won't be disappointed.
You're really seeing the future stars of the NHL. I mean, these are guys that you're going to see playing with or against the Pittsburgh Penguins eventually.
There are 23 players on the Phantoms roster, ages 16 to 20 years old. They come from across the country and even around the world to play here in Youngstown.
My dad actually was an old pro player back in Sweden, so he kind of brought me to the rink when I was around 3 years old. So he kind of brought me and my brother into it, and since then it's been hockey 100%. And by Youngstown, I thought it was a good step for me coming from Sweden before playing college hockey, so I think Youngstown was the perfect fit for me.
For people who don't know a lot about hockey, the players say once you experience it, you'll be hooked.
I think it kind of embodies like a lot of sports. Like, basketball, people like the flashiness, like the high scoring and stuff, and a lot of our games we have, these guys are making great plays and scoring a lot of goals, and then people here, obviously big football guys, and we have just as many hits and just as many big hits as football, so I think it's kind of like a combination.
If the hockey's not enough to keep the attention of the younger fans, there's also plenty of intermission activities. Of course, there's the food, and a bounce around to keep them occupied. But in the end, Coach Noreen says it all comes back to the game.
It's entertaining, it's non-stop action, and I think, you know, if you take a couple minutes and you sit and you watch and you just see how big, how fast, how strong these guys are and how skilled they are, I think that alone is your entertainment worth.
Every player who has played a full season with the Phantoms has gone on to either play NCAA Division I hockey or play professionally. So now's your chance to see them before they move on to the big leagues. For Take 5 with the Regional Chamber, I'm Brian Bornas.
We're looking forward to a fun night and hope to see you and your family and friends there. And finally, if you're attending the Regional Chamber's Economic Forecast Breakfast the morning of February 6th, you can hear Coach Noreen preview the game as the Phantoms and BJ Allen are sponsoring our economic development presentation and will give a little hockey insight beforehand. Additionally, former Youngstown Mayor and current Executive Director of the U.S. Office of Recovery for Auto Communities and Workers, Jay Williams, will keynote, and Senior Vice President and Chief Investment Officer of breakfast sponsor First National Bank, Jeff Wagner, will give us a local economic forecast. You'll want to be sure to start the year with a significant, insightful event. Visit regionalchamber.com for more information and to register. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Take 5, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. With the Regional Chamber, I'm Kim Calvert.
Take 5 with the Regional Chamber is produced by Mahoning Valley Productions, where we tell your stories.